because I think he's tried to educate people so hard that he's realized how difficult it is to educate people because they don't want to be educated.
They want to be entertained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When hiring someone, what problems do we face?
The biggest challenges that I face with hiring is that FAQ questions typically aren't answered, and we have to continue every single interview. It seems like I'm answering the exact same questions over and over. The quality of the candidate, and I would honestly say, dude, we don't have enough. That's our agency's biggest problem.
And now, not so much from just problems, but what are the steps that someone has to go through just for hiring?
It's 3 interviews. So typically it's either just from a friend or a DM. And then from there, they hop on the first interview, which is finding their pain and filtering them and qualifying them. Finding pain point, qualifying. Second interview is third-party validation, getting them on a phone with another rep, has a similar story. And then the third interview is actually hiring them.
So I hire you, I make you an offer, now what?
Then from there, it goes into licensing. So we'll fill out a form, a hiring form. That gets sent to Anna, and it's an automated system that will email them step-by-step instructions on how to get licensed. And that was everything that you went through.
And from those that you make an offer to those that get started in the course, do you know what percentage that is?
Yeah, dude, I'd say 40%. Will that get started on the course or complete it? That would get started, I would say 70% get started.
Then those that get through the course that actually obtain their license, do you know what percentage that is? Is there a big differentiator between?
Once they get through the course, they're gonna get their license. It will probably be a 10% drop off because a few people will begin failing that process and then just give up entirely.
FAQs, currently, is there a regular onboarding system that Anna will go through or someone will go through with agents? Or is it just like, hey, as soon as you're hired, you're putting the coursework?
So the FAQs are really coming in the first interview. It's like, hey, how did the leads work? What is the commission? What does the day-to-day look like? So it's leads, day-to-day, commission.
So they're not consuming the content that we are giving them?
No, because we send them an overview, a business overview meeting that's pre-recorded. And some guys will have a good understanding of it by then, but they're not fully watching it.
And that interview, or that business overview, what is it? Do we have a link?
Yeah, you want it?
Yeah. I can tell you the problem.
What is it?
I don't want to consume that.
No.
So for context, let me show you.
So a new VSL.
Yeah. This is something I just set up for the rep placement. We've been using ours ourselves for a very long time for the recruiting. All right, so let's say, for example, someone went and they filled out that intake form. The next thing that they should get is some type of text confirmation for a follow-up appointment that is scheduled already. So I hire someone, I give you the expectations for what's supposed to go down.
Exactly.
I have a check-in call scheduled with you at that date at which you should have your license obtained. And I can text you throughout that process, making sure that you're along the way manually. But there should be an automated drip reminding them, because that's also going to remind them about the deadline. One thing I would tell people as soon as you hire them is, hey, I want to double check with you that there is not without a shadow of a doubt you're going to be able to complete this by the time of this check-in call. Because if I hire you and you haven't gotten through by the time of this check-in call, I will no longer work with you.
Yep.
Because that shows me, A, either you're incompetent and don't understand your own availability, or B, you're lying. Either one of those I do not want to work with.
Mm-hmm.
From that point, they should get immediately something that's interesting that they want to watch that isn't framed as a business overview. So this is the same thing for that intro call. You send them the appointment confirmation, and as soon as they have opted in, gotten that confirmation, we need to send them something that they actually want to watch. So like a backstory or a podcast or anything interesting.
You send them my Ty Lopez podcast.
So that's a decent example. The first one they get is, we highly recommend that you check out this backstory on one of the reps we placed who went from selling gym memberships to 7 figures a year in finance. So the reason we use that one first is because A, selling gym memberships is the lowest form of sales.
Yeah.
So anybody who went from selling gym memberships to 7 figures in finance, clearly guy can make a shit ton of money in finance. So with that, it grabs the attention of this because this is for experienced salespeople.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone that is an experienced salesperson hears someone going from selling gym memberships to 7 figures a year is gonna be like, how the fuck are they doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm now making 7 figures a year, and I'm probably more capable than someone that's doing the lowest form of sales. So this links to Stan's video, his vlog of 12K a month penthouse at 21. It reinforces our credibility because he mentions how he initially got started recruiting, and that was through a DM that he got from. Now, I'm super stoked for this call because that's something I want to watch. It's short form, it's 12 minutes, it's not too, or 15 minutes, not too overloading. It seems super exciting. Like, this young kid looks like me, talks like me, acts like me, making a shit ton of money, living my dream.
Yeah.
That's what I'm interested in. I don't give a fuck about your business overview.
Yeah, I agree.
So in that, you can answer all these FAQs that people would have and just slide them in there in a way where it's entertaining. And that's a big thing that Hormozy talks about. Is like, because I think he's tried to educate people so hard that he's realized how difficult it is to educate people because they don't want to be educated.
They want to be entertained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to give them what they want while at the same time giving them what they need. Exactly. So that's the first one. And now that they're a little bit warmed up and they have an affinity toward your brand because they consumed something and they enjoyed it, now you can send them shit like a business overview and they would watch it. Mm-hmm. I still wouldn't send that though. I would send like a longer format podcast. This is the next one with Chris and Malai for Jonah. And this is a really good one because this is someone that was super successful in sales.
Yeah.
And so now that I've gained their belief in me, now I can go and make bolder and bolder claims. So this guy, already making $250,000 a year in sales, went and left his position because there was something better. Mm-hmm. Now, if I made that my first one toward experienced salespeople, one, it'd be less relatable because there's a lot less people at that level, but two, it'd be less believable. So at that point, the majority of people have consumed both of those, definitely the first one, and they have pretty much every question answered on the call so far, and they're now asking you questions about what they watched.
Right.
And that's how the call started.
Now they're intrigued. And so when does that first message go out?
So as soon as they book that intro call.
And this is through your funnel.
Exactly. But you can do the same thing with your reps. If you centralize one calendar for them all that they all pass through, you can do it that way. You could add each of their calendars to an automation, which would be a little bit more complex. You can do it that way. What we're gonna do with our managers is we're gonna be doing the recruiting for them. So with that, we will have everybody go through the same funnel. Mm-hmm. So it's gonna be a lot easier for us to control that way, which is another reason why we're doing it. Is because like, we want to be in charge of scaling our business, not our managers being in charge of scaling our business. Mm-hmm. And so if we supply them all the recruits that they could possibly need, then we control the flow and we always make sure it's there. So honestly, like from a systems perspective, it'd be easier to structure it that way. But granted, where you're at right now, I think the easiest solution for us would be probably, what are the guys doing right now? Are they using calendars at all, or is mainly, they're way too fucking, way too,
Dude, bro, we're using none of this. We're literally, it's like a homie hits you up, you get on the phone with them, you qualify them through the 3 interviews, or we hit them up on Instagram, or they ping us on Instagram, and we're like, hey, watch this BOM, hop on the phone call with us.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a pain in the ass to track. And that's honestly, you got 2 options here. We can either reset standards throughout the organization, which is, we're talking about $5 million a month, tons of people that are doing
that's
recruiting.
Not gonna work.
Yeah. Or the other option would be doing it for them, A, and then B would be neglecting the reporting whatsoever. But I think that's the most costly option, quite frankly. So A, in terms of doing it for them, I have the same problem with our recruiting clients. I've had the same problem with you.
Yeah.
So what I would recommend is that you have them all install some type of AI note taker app on their phone. And so that every call they have, they can even do this with clients too, automatically goes through the AI note taker. And then that AI note taker can automatically forward every single meeting and interview that happens for the agency to a VA. And then that VA can then go and manually report on everything. So it's still difficult because we'd have to get everyone to download an app and like sign into the app. But after that point, there'd be nothing else.
And then the reporting, what are they going to be reporting on?
So how many interviews are being taken place, what people are moving to the
Got
next
it.
stage, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
The entire.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been thinking like if I honestly kind of wanted to go the route of controlling the flow for them, that's where I'm more leaning.
And that's something that we could do. As like that would be a way to reset expectations throughout the org.
That makes more sense for them and for me.
Mm-hmm.
I
It's
think
positioned
so.
as a value add.
Yeah.
And it actually helps you more because now you can clean up everyone else's mess.
Yeah, because dude, it's gonna be a nightmare to like these guys will. Yeah, we'll say the app and this, but like.
Yeah, they're just not. Yeah.
They're just not gonna do it.
It's gonna be like pulling fucking teeth. I'll
Be
do the same
awful.
thing. Yeah. I think the best way to do it is just new value add that naturally resets expectations throughout the org because now they're no longer responsible for it. And for them, they like it because it's like, okay, you're taking this thing off my plate.
Like I have all the recruiting taken care of. Let me funnel you people.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that allows me to go wide too because how I've been doing it. So this is my flow with recruiting. So we run creatives. They book with our recruiter. He does the first call. Then we do a group interview. I put someone in charge of that group interview. And if there's 5 people on the call, I get 3, they get 2, but they train and manage those 5.
Okay.
That's how I'm stacking.
And that works with everybody? Like everybody's usually good with that?
Oh yeah, because this is the same thing as like, they don't have to find the people. All they have to do is an hour-long phone call and here's 2 directs.
Yeah, that's great. So yeah, that's super easy to take underneath of your wing then. What we could do is instead of people just booking the calls immediately with warm market and people that they get through messages, we need one link that everybody goes to.
Yeah, that's what we really do need.
One link everybody goes through. Everybody uses this link, no confusion, super simple. Make sure you tell the person who books in that link to put your name in referred by.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And so, like in your head, would that link go to, like what would that link look like? What would it walk them through, like a VSL or no?
So with this, I wouldn't necessarily, it depends on if you want to use one all-purpose link as to whether or not I'd add a VSL. If you want to use one all-purpose link for both DMs and referrals and any other channels, then I have the VSL on there. Knowing that most of the people that come from more market probably aren't going to watch it, so we have to take that into consideration, but everyone else will.
Mm-hmm.
So those with more market, they'll typically get more context about what the job is before getting on a call rather than other people. So I think that would be fine without having them watch it. But yeah, I think if it's an all-purpose link, we definitely want a VSL on there that pre-qualifies people. Nothing crazy, super simple, like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Then just a simple opt-in form. Like we could do direct to a calendar. This depends on what part you want your qualifications to be reset throughout the organization. Because if you're now in control of recruiting, we can set higher standards for qualifications. And so we don't need a direct to calendar form. We could go ahead and put an application form and then have VAs manually qualify applications and then only put interviews with the most qualified people. So that depends on the standards that you want to set. What we're going to do with our agency in particular is anybody that is coming through inbound is going to have to go through a more intensive application process to where they have more questions to answer, A, but B, they all have to submit a short form essay that can be written or a selfie video.
I like that.
So from there, that pre-qualifies who's actually serious and who really wants to like change their situation. And you can tell within their essay, within that short form video, like how much emotion is behind it and how much someone
Truly
actually
cares.
Yeah. We're doing that with outbound. You shouldn't have to qualify. You can do a direct to calendar for sure, and it wouldn't be a problem. And that's where you have to distinguish whether or not you want to up those qualifications for the inbound, in which case you would probably want to have 2 separate links. But if you don't, then you can just use the same one all-purpose link.
I want to show you the what we're using right now. I'll send this to you so you have it. Like here are some of our creatives that we're running in the funnel, and then this is actually like our
The landing page.
let's see
I want to say it's nice to meet you. My name's Wylie. I'm the guy in the corner over here. So we're going to go through a couple things. What do we do? Why do we do it? How do we do it? Does it actually work? Some testimonies. And then frequently asked questions. So let's get right into it.
This is for my
What do we do? We sell life insurance. And I know exactly what y'all are thinking. That does not sound sexy. I thought the exact same thing. 5 years ago, I was in college at Colorado State University, go Rams. I was studying hospitality management and I was working valet at a local hotel. Currently living with 3 roommates, as you can imagine, the dishes were piling up. It was the typical college experience. And one of them was Garrett. We called him.
Video itself can definitely be better. Everything else is great though. We could remove some of the fluff on here.
Yeah.
Like there's a good amount of text that's unnecessary. But most of it's good. I would just change the video. You started the video really well. And the backstory is good too. It's just, one, you're speaking too slow.
What's this for?
Landing page.
Oh.
Yeah.
Recruiting.
Yeah, landing page, you gotta pack value quick.
Dude, that's been a whole nother thing I've been learning about VSLs, and I'm like, bro, people just can't pay attention.
No, people are fucking stupid, dude. You gotta.
It's insane. I have like a pet monkey on my shoulder. You see this? You should get one. Pay attention.
But yeah, I would say the video could be
Short.
yeah, a lot more sped up. The contents of it correct. You could just film it at like a higher quality for sure.
Higher quality?
Yeah, like what I would do is do an actual video, a sit down video.
Okay.
And then what you could do is you could have like overlays go throughout it, like kind of more of like a Hormozy, like a Mongazi style.
Yeah.
Like I'll show you.
My God.
What is his name?
Oh, that he's building? Yeah.
Fucking changes the name every year. This is the old one. I'll show you YouTube example. That's on YouTube too.
If you're feeling a little stuck with your paper journal, we will always be there to provide you with prompts, fresh ideas, and even outlines for your brain. And with so much ADAC surfacing the internet right now, rather than even written or copy from another source, Grammar is truly all-in-one must-have tool for all students.
What clips are you watching over there, Bobby?
Mahmoud and Hussein.
So this is like an example of one of
It's
his.
a reflection of your personal life, and that's why if you want to be a millionaire, you need to have the skills of a millionaire. And that's precisely why in today's video, I'm going to take a time machine and go back and share with you the 7 millionaire skills that I wish I knew when I was 18 years old. Now, some of these millionaire skills I actually implemented and was one.
So he's going to attribute those skills to how he's gotten successful. Then there's going to be a link somewhere in here. Oh, it looks like he took it out. Oh, he's got it linking back to the main video.
So we are entering in.
Yeah, that's fucking genius. So he links all those back to this main one, and then that further qualifies them through a longer format video, and then he has them go to actually buy the high ticket thing, which is now again taken down. So the way he positions it is like, not so much like a VSL, but more so like he's teaching you something. And it's built more in that format. And so it's a lot more entertaining to watch, and you can add the same overlays that you would add in the VSL, and you can get a lot higher engagement rate. So that will fix FAQs. We gotta make the content way more interesting before people get on the call. In order to fix really the entire, all of our systems for hiring and reporting, we need to start taking it over, because it's too late to reset expectations of how big your org is. It needs to be.
So take over the recruiting.
And then
Who like builds your guys' funnels for you?
I don't know how to do everything, dude.
You do?
Yeah. I outsource most of everything.
Oh,
PAs.
really?
Like I'll outline everything.
Right.
Delegate it to somebody. So that'll improve candidate quality drastically as well.
I do
People
do
that
well.
get through the VSL. Intro call will almost be entirely redundant at that point, and you'll be able to just jump straight into the second interview, essentially. You'll do a brief intro, but it'll be much more like jumping to a second interview. And then that'll make the intake form process and the licensing process 1,000 times easier.
Way easier, because they'll just get through it.
Exactly.
They'll be excited, that's the thing. That's why we do the 3-step interview, because we get them excited.
So next up, let's dive into these not starting and don't finishes. All right, so we've got 30% overall not getting started.
There's no way we're going to be able to get through all of this.
It's not just this, brother.
Dylan.
No, we're not gonna be able to get through all of this.
All right, let's go. What's next?
So another thing too is we'll probably want to do higher level synopsises of these things and not go too into detail on all of them.
Yeah.
Because I want my operations manager for that. But yeah, I mean, this stuff it's a lot.
Yeah, no, I mean, dude, this is a full changing everything, bro.
Yeah.
You know how much that is?
Oh.
Dude, that's gonna be insane.
Yeah. Because the way that you have to look at a business is for your consumer, the person that we're providing the product for, which in your case is the agent.
Right.
We need to have every single problem solved for them from A to Z. Because if it's not solved for them, then that is one reason why we may not attract top talent, and that is the last thing that we want. Because you're in a recruiting business, and so everything needs to be geared toward getting the best quality talent within the market.
Mm-hmm.
And so if these problems go unsolved, there's better opportunities out there.
All right.
So it's not just like a opportunity thing, but it's also just in regards to business. Like, you understand this at this point, people fucking suck. Like, growing a labor-based business is one of the hardest things in the world, and that's because it relies around people. And so people are very unreliable, and you want to take as much potential for human error out as you possibly can. And that's like Hormozy's big thing when it comes to sales teams and adherence. That's why adherence is so important, because the very few things that you want to give them and that you make non-negotiable, they need to stick with. And everything else you can do for them, take off their plate, automate, have VAs do it, whatever, because nothing is higher leverage than selling anyways. But with those non-negotiables, you need complete adherence 100% at all times, because you're not asking them for a lot of things. And that's the key, is I'm gonna ask you for very few things, but I need those things done 100%, 110% effort at 100% of the time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, what do we got?
So next, getting into these that don't finish or don't start the course whatsoever. So that mainly probably is that number very different from you and people that you hire personally? So the 30% that don't start the course whatsoever, and then the 60% total that get sent the course but don't actually end up.
No, I would say that's pretty standard.
Okay, so even with your people, you're seeing those same metrics?
I'm not tracking it.
But would you say it probably?
I would say I would probably do the best job, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, well, of course, Tanner does a really good job, guys like that, but I would say if anything, it'd be like a 10% drop.
So if you're gonna hire me, you're gonna put me into the coursework. Take me from I'm hired. What is everything that's said after that point?
So I can send you all of it, but they'll get an email that says, welcome to the team. Here's your step one. Now what's said to them as a manager, what I walk them through and what we've taught all our guys is like, hey, your first thing is just get a test scheduled. Get a date and report back to me that you have that scheduled. Then from there, you're gonna log into your course. You're gonna send an email to Anna that you've scheduled. She'll give you the login access, and then you begin studying for your course. And I'll be up front. Up from that point, I'm like, dude, I'll check in on you a couple of times. Like, I'll check on maybe once a week, if that, for me. And I'm just like, you have 14 days to get done with this. I've never seen it take longer than 14 days, and then they pass their test and they contact me.
First thing is, when we make the hire, what's stopping us from scheduling their exam on the spot and putting them into the coursework on the spot?
Nothing.
Okay, that needs to be done moving forward. Whenever someone is officially a part of the team, that needs to be done with them, because that makes it real.
Yeah.
Because up until that point, like, this is all fucking fairy tales.
Yeah.
Like what you told me, there's no actual substance behind it.
Yeah.
Not until I have taken the first step
Yep.
to get started. Which, a lot of people, when it comes to, this is the bigger thing here that we need to work on, this is kind of where our approaches are different, is we're hiring too many people before they should be hired.
100%.
Like, we're not doing enough filtering post actually making that offer. And so what we need to incorporate, what I would recommend incorporating to take that 30 and 60% and eliminate it entirely, have 100%, if not 90% of the people that get the course actually finish, is we need some type of help, some type of something from okay, you've got the offer, but it's contingent on you passing this before it's official, or else we're gonna have that
Now,
trouble.
is the Hell Week gonna be in person?
It doesn't need to be, it can be done virtually.
Because that would be a huge constraint.
Yeah, it can be done virtually.
And then would it be every week? Because we're always going to be hiring
It would
people.
be every week, yeah.
Okay.
So something that we could do that would be super simple that we're already kind of doing is with the virtual Zoom rooms, there could be a certain time where camera is on. There could be a certain time or a certain number of dials that need to be made during that week. And there could be,
Well, they wouldn't be licensed then.
yeah, that's fine.
That's
They don't need to
dial.
sell.
Yeah.
You can just have set appointments.
Yeah.
The point being is that it's a test in order to see if you're ready for the agency and
Yeah.
like, if we actually want to hire you. And if you don't want to do it, you don't need to do it. Like, there's nothing stopping you. So what that is going to do is it's actually going to help people make decisions. Because the problem is like, we're just talking about the grand scheme in the market, is people suck at making decisions. Like, outside of the qualified salespeople that are already making multiple six figures a year, they're the only educated decision makers within your market. They're the only ones. So every single other person you have to assume is a horrific decision maker.
Right.
And that's why they're in the position that they're in. So because of that, you need to make things real for people to help them actually give you a answer with substance behind it, rather than just
This is what it looks like.
yeah, exactly.
Here's everything. Yeah.
Because someone that isn't good at saying yes or no to opportunities, you are naturally going to get a ton of people that tell you yes or tell you no that have no fucking idea as to what they're
No,
talking
yeah,
about.
because it is, I mean, everything when I walk them through, like, here's your day-to-day, this is what it looks like, everybody's like, oh, I can do that. And then I'm just thinking to myself, like, dude, this guy's not gonna, he has no idea, he doesn't actually understand the substance of what I'm saying.
Exactly. And so that's why you need to put them through it before we actually make an offer, because we're adding so much waste into the process. So much. And it's also creating a bad image for all those people that go ahead and pay to get into the coursework, or even just get invited to be a part of the company, but don't ever even end up starting. Like, that you're destroying your
Bad
brand.
reputation.
Yeah. So I would recommend we do some type of week-long intensive for everybody before they get an official, offer letter.
They could just dial hard for 5 days.
Exactly.
Honestly, that's like the best thing they could do.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
You
They're gonna
dial
get kicked
8
in the
hours
teeth.
a day, 5 days.
And you can pay them, like, since it's just for Hell Week and it's just for like a training, they can get compensated on appointments that they set, and we're close by reps.
I like that.
So that way they're not working for free.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, the point of this isn't for you to make money yet. That's not what this is. The point of this is to see if we want to help you make money. So there will be an opportunity to make money here during this week long, but if that's the whole reason why you're doing this, then don't do it. Because we want people that are in it for the long-term vision and are willing to suffer for not just the next week, but the next 12 weeks, the next 24 weeks in order to achieve their bigger vision.
I really like that. Yeah, 5 weeks, 5 days, you dial, we'll pay you $25 or whatever.
Yeah, something that's reasonable, that's always gonna work.
Yeah, per set appointment. You
Yeah.
get it closed, you get $100.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Done. And the managers would love that.
Oh yeah, fucking preloaded with quality pre-books.
Yeah, and then they'll know like which guys they're actually gonna want to work with, and they'll be excited about the rest. And like, dude, you suck. Like, bro, you couldn't make it.
Yeah. And I would do standard-based expectations rather than performance-based expectations. So like, you could get your shit fucking kicked in, dialing 250 plus times a day for 5 days. And
As long as you did it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because I'd rather take that person than the person who got lucky and got appointments but was only doing 100 hours a day.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. As long as you do the work, you do everything we ask. Because that's my biggest thing. I've noticed people that participate and just do the tasks we put in front of them. That's Tanner. Anything we told him, he just did.
Yeah. And that's always how I recommend doing it when it comes to scaling through labor, because without adherence, you lose predictability. And so like,
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have off occasions where guys do really well, but without that predictability, it becomes so much more difficult to scale because now that makes our numbers way more complicated to track.
Yeah.
That'll fix that problem entirely with those that are not getting through. And then from that point, it'll also be 1,000 times easier to track when they're all going through one funnel because we can put them all in one hiring pipeline where they all go through the same stages. And so at each of the stages, we could have different automations based on where they're at. And then we could also have accountability reminders that get scheduled to be sent to the managers. That way they check in on those people that are getting through at certain stages. So now I get hired, it's contingent on me passing this Hell Week. After I pass Hell Week, we're gonna have a check-in call that's scheduled to go over my performance. In that check-in call, if I get an official offer letter, we're going to be scheduling the exam on that call, and we're going to be having a set date for when you're expected to get started. And if you don't get licensed for anything that was in your control by that start date, then you're not allowed back on the team. And so now we have so much more predictability throughout that process. We have a real onboarding that gets scheduled, and a big problem with questions that I guarantee your managers are having to deal with is they're answering questions when someone's getting started, and then they're having to re-answer all those same questions 2 to 3 weeks later when that person has their license. So don't answer the questions up front. Fuck that. We will go over that in your onboarding once you actually get your license. Because if you don't pass Hell Week, none of this even matters. Because you're not going to be a part of my team.
So it sounds like I need to get a good offer that like the managers can articulate, which is, I mean, essentially it's like, hey, we can teach you to make $15,000 in 60 days. Honestly.
And that's something that the expectations should go hand in hand with what they put into it. So like, for example, there should be expectations tied to the baseline performance that's expected from everyone. So if you're doing 250 dials a day in the 3D, this is what you should do. Now, going above and beyond that, we should be setting personalized goals on our onboarding and saying, okay, you can do the standard, but if you actually are taking this seriously, like you want to be the person you told me you were going to be, double the standard. Because I guarantee you do double the standard, you're going to blow those goals out the fucking water.
I like that. That'll be an interesting metric to figure out with the result tied to it.
So now they got a real onboarding. It's way less things that you're having to repeat. You have way higher excitement levels at the beginning of getting started as well, because this is the hype call. And instead of having the hype call and then going through this fucking terrible course and getting licensed, you're now having a mini hype call. You're getting qualified for your perseverance, and then you're having a true hype call when you're actually a part of the team and you're getting started. It's now you're hitting the ground running. Super exciting.
Yeah, and they'll blow through that.
So the last thing in there is contracting and kind of the systems there. So walk me through like how contracting actually works. So like, say I'm Anna. What is Anna's role day to day? What's she doing?
Dude, Anna is pretty much on Zooms, like an hour-long Zoom to walk people through their contracting. And then when they're in licensing, she's just replying to them via email. Like if they have any questions of, hey, I don't know where to go here, I don't know how to do this, she's responding to those. But she'll walk them through their contracting. So what they need is a voided check, E&O insurance, and their driver's license. And then she's showing them how to apply. Like she does it with them. She applies directly to the carrier and walks them through that. So it's called HCMS.
Okay. Let's say every single week you had your check-in calls from everyone who got through the boot camp that week. Let's say it's the end of day Friday or beginning of day Monday. Right after all those check-in calls, we could have a group onboarding every single week that Anna hosts.
Yeah, that's what I've been thinking.
Where she walks through everybody at the exact same time.
Yeah.
And so everyone leaves that call with everything they need to make sure that they hit their target date.
Yep.
Because there's no excuses after that point. Unless it's on the state, there's no excuses.
Well, once they get through that, then all they're doing is they're just waiting for carriers to come back.
Exactly.
So then it would be going into like training, like, hey, you have to do our boot camp. our online boot camp and watch this series of training videos, you get access to the script now. Like that's what we do. Is so once they complete their onboarding with Anna, it's like, now here's all the material that you need to begin studying.
Yeah, so that way they can brush up on that while they finish that part, wait for that license to get started.
Yep.
During that time too, if they want to continue dialing for commission, they can. Like if they don't have a job or if,
Yeah, we usually have them shadow.
but they've already started dialing at that point, so. Contracting there,
You know how
If
much
you do
fucking work this is gonna be, Don?
oh yeah.
Like, I'm serious, dude. This is like a whole.
People have asked us for a very long time why we don't run our own insurance agency or why we don't run our own sales team or things like that. And the key thing is I do what I'm good at. And what I'm good at is recruiting. I don't care to be a sales manager and a manager of a large group of people because I understand how big a pain in the ass that fucking is.
It's horrid.
So what I care about is fueling the growth of these other agencies and of these other partners because that's what I'm good at. And so rather than so much doing all these things myself over the past several years, I just do what I'm good at. I make the most money from that. And then from that point, I've built all of the relationships and I've been collecting all the operations and I've been collecting all the frameworks and I've been collecting all the things that are needed in order to grow and scale massive sales teams that I have equity and I have ownership and I have interest in.
Yeah.
So rather than trying to do it all from scratch myself at the beginning, it's a lot easier for me to just leverage what I was good at, get all of the stuff that I need for free, actually get paid to learn all of that stuff because I was doing the recruiting and so I was making money from that. And now, I mean, we've got like the exact, literally everything that we need to do. But doing it all myself and having figured all that out from scratch and having built all those systems, having done all that, I think would have been a massive waste of my time.
I'm gonna need to find people to do this for me.
Yeah. Well, the operation stuff, we can all have set up with the manager. Like, he can do all that stuff. That's the whole point of kind of his role for us in our business. And we can do the same thing with our agencies and our partners. So all that stuff we can create for you. That is something that long-term there's a ton of money in when it comes to like how we plan to scale our business, because as operating as a private equity portfolio, we want to have all the different layers and all the different levels that people are going to need in order to grow their sales teams. And so the biggest thing is recruiting, because again, every sales team is built on talent. But from there, after that point, the next thing is the most optimized vehicle, because if you have the most optimized vehicle, that one is more efficient, you're going to get a higher return for reps. But again, the more important thing is you can attract the best people, because the best people want to work in the best system and they want to work surrounded by the other best people. Once you've done those two things, the rest of it, as long as you can be a leader, like you're a true leader, you are the first one in, last one out, like you're able to get better every single day, the rest of it is like really unimportant when it comes to running a sales team. So if we have those first two things and then we partner with the leaders, which is kind of our model, is hey, find the existing leaders or create the leaders through our funnel, which takes years, but we've created some of the biggest leaders within the industry doing it that way. That is kind of our vision for our long-term business. So this operations part is something that we want to do not just for like our own partners and our own immediate sales teams, but it's part of our long-term vision and like a function within our business that we're going to need. So honestly, like, it's getting so much crazier with AI, it's fucking next level. Like,
I'm behind.
Yeah, I'm so behind. Because this is not my specialty. It's not like, again, recruiting and marketing is my main focus. Operations, I just kind of have a high level overview in, but it is exciting, the stuff that's available with AI. Like,
it's insane.
Entire processes that I used to spend, thousands of dollars a month on with VAs can entirely be, automated, delegated, and without any human error, which VAs are already, a lot lower human error than most people, but it reduces it to none. So, other problems, agent success and manager success is a whole nother layer of shit that we gotta go through. We're not gonna go through it right now. But yeah, outside of just the agent success and manager success functions, there's also an operations function, especially with how many people you have in your operations department. You need an entire operations function where you're measuring the performance of all of those people within your operations department and how they're doing. And we honestly probably need to add QA as well.
What's that?
Quality assurance. So we have quality, so I'll give you an example. Like key processes, you're gonna want a quality assurance manager for. So like for us with recruiting.
All I'm thinking about right now is just like, I have to go and fucking hire people to do all this right now. That's all I'm thinking about.
Yeah. Well, one thing I would suggest is, because you definitely
Seriously.
need, because we're gonna have our own operations manager, but you need your own. And
I do.
what I can do is I'll have my operations manager connect you to somebody who's like
That would be
legit.
huge.
We're gonna get that operations manager for you, because that'll be so much easier anyways too, because I don't want that, my operations manager communicating with you, because you're gonna be a fucking pain in the ass. So.
No, I'm gonna be,
Yeah.
no, I have two, dude, I am swarmed.
Yeah, no, we'll hire an ops manager. The first thing that we'll need to do is you'll fully need to indoctrinate them into your business. So
Yeah, I
they'll
can
just,
spend time to do that.
Yeah, just shadow the fucking absolute shit out of you in every process that goes on within your business.
Yeah.
And then from there, they can draw out plans to optimize it over time and everything. Because we're gonna have our own, and you can leverage ours, but you're running a much bigger organization. Because, I mean, we're gonna come in and fuck it.
6 million a month.
Yeah, we're coming in at 0 million a month.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the operations that we have in place is not going to be built for the same of a $6 million a month order.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, it's nice you guys get to build from the ground up. I'm just thinking about all the conversations I'm gonna have like across the organization of like, here's what we're changing, this process needs to switch, and it's fine, like we'll go through it. I'm just thinking the order of operations.
It's so much easier now than wait until it's too late. Because like at Sean's level, it's impossible.
No.
Sean's stuck. Yeah, Sean's stuck with what he's got.
He is.
Like, it's just way too far gone.
Yeah,
at that
it
point.
is. And I mean, I'm getting to that point. Like if I don't change it, it will just be
It's what it is.
a madhouse, which is, I mean, not fine. I mean, it is fine.
Yeah, well, you'll still grow and you'll
I'll
still be
never
able to
stop
achieve.
growing.
Yeah, you'll still be able to achieve the goals that you have. It's just going to be not as good as it could be.
Yeah. And you guys are your operational manager, and you found him through LinkedIn?
So we have like, for those types of roles, we'll do tons of job posts, like those more like corporate types of people that we're looking for. And then we'll do hardcore filtering on those, like super hardcore filtering, and then shortlist of candidates that we interview.
Yeah.
So like this one in particular, reason we chose him for the short list is because he had managed over 700 VAs before in telecommunications industry. He worked for AT&T.
Wow, that's sick.
Yeah, he was like one of the leadership roles in all of the Philippines for AT&T.
Yeah.
So he had a ton of experience managing people, building operations, and then he's also very well connected within the like freelancer community. And so like a lot of his colleagues have gotten started like VA placement agencies, like I was telling you. One of them is Cyberbacker, which is like one of the biggest VA agencies in the world, if not the biggest, and he's able to funnel pretty much all the talent that we could possibly ever need to our operations manager